Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to Not Another Sox podcast. I am Jack Webster here with Matt Galveo and Matt LeBeau, as always. Fellas, tough week with the Red Sox here with the passing of Rem Dog.
Yeah, really tough, really sad. Big part of my childhood. I was just telling my girlfriend every night, since I was 6 years old. You watch NESN and started with McDonough and Remy, Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy, which was a great tandem, and then it was Don and Jerry, and yeah, it's just really sad, really really sad. So gonna miss him a lot.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just like you said, he was really the voice of the Red Sox for all those years. And I think he was in the NESN booth for what, like 30 plus years. And there was a lot of great times, especially with him and Arcillo. A lot of good banter back and forth, and you spent a lot of your summers watching Sox games with the two of them. So he'll definitely be greatly missed. Obviously had a great career on the field with the Sox from here, joined the NESN booth. So he's a true Bostonian through and through, and he's really the heartbeat, of the Red Sox organization. So it's definitely a huge loss for Sox Nation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's something that, carries across like every generation of Red Sox fans is Jerry Remy. Because you have, us kind of guys in their mid-20s and even people younger than us that, listen to them for the entire time they were listening to the Red Sox. As long as you were watching the Red Sox on NESN, you were listening to Jerry Remy. And that goes even beyond, that. I think I was reading today that he started there at 88, so over 33 years of being essentially the voice of the Red Sox and playing for them before. I mean, just about everybody just knows him. He is, literally the president of Red Sox Nation.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think so. I mean, growing up in Rhode Island, Remy had a pretty like close connection to here because he was like a Fall River guy. I know he lived in Fall River, and that's kind of this area, like, southeastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Spent a lot of time around here. Very, very part of the community. So not just, the Red Sox community, but the local community as well. He definitely changed what was like watching baseball before was, boring to some, but made it exciting, made it fun. Just a really fun, interactive guy, and, definitely never going to be the same without him. But, the last pitch, throwing out the last pitch against the Yankees, that was very, nice. It was very fitting. And then to Eckersley as well. So Eck will do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I think no matter who he was broadcasting with, he always did a really good job at keeping you entertained in the game. Obviously, through the ups and downs of baseball season, you're going to have some blowouts. You're going to have a lot of rough stretches of when the team's not doing well, especially throughout, certain years there. But he always made it very fun to watch. It was like, he was in your living room with you right there. And I think that was, something that you can't even really teach at all. Like, you just have to have that experience and that resume for over a long career.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, and I was, I was reading when Jared Carabas, he wrote that blog on Remy, after he passed, and he kind of said similar things, like he made baseball very fun. With him and Arcillo for all those years, with the joking, the banter back and forth, especially for young people getting into the game. I feel like Jerry Remy was like a great voice to have because he brought that old school like baseball mentality. He's been in the game for a long time, but he also made it fun, and he made it fun for the younger people, with pop culture, with with joking, making it fun for kids. And we were kind of right in the middle of that, growing up with him, and we kind of caught that. I feel like he had a big impact on, just younger kids getting into the game as well.
Yeah, perfectly said. I think he was an excellent balance of having played the game, old school guy, but it embraced the new, generation of baseball fans and how baseball is watched. Definitely embraced the idea of, the game changing. Never was like an old man sitting in his, on his front lawn telling kids to get off of it when it came to baseball. He was always like, pretty neutral toward the old school and the new school. So, but also the experience that he had was genuine. He wasn't just a guy just, bullshitting. It was very genuine experience. Something you just don't see. The whole baseball media and all sports media is really, to me, it's so disingenuous in so many ways. He was the complete opposite of that. So, yeah, it definitely will be an adjustment, but yeah, I mean, he definitely changed NESN and the Red Sox for the better, for sure.
Yeah, no, and going off of what you're saying about, adapting to the new school, like he said so many times that he would have never made it to the major leagues in today's day and age, just because of not only his talent. I mean, he was a fine second baseman, absolutely no power, but that just wouldn't happen today. And he's glad that he got his opportunity to experience the game and, actually make a good career out of it. I think it was a 10-year career.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, always heard about how good his defense was, and he definitely had a special connection to Pedroia because they were both kind of guys that like to get dirty, played good defense. Although Pedroia was obviously an excellent hitter, I think that Remy had a special connection to him. Tough to lose both those guys. Not obviously, Pedroia. Obviously, he's still alive, but tough to lose. Both those guys in the past 4 years, where I feel like before it was just like, such a special connection to have Remy in the booth, Pedroia, kind of playing through him on the field. And, it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, and just going back to Remy and Orsillo, just kind of going through their time with the Red Sox, they've had a tremendous amount of clips that you'd find on YouTube, and just very famous, with the pizza incident, with the boob grab.
Oh, yeah.
That was so. I mean, those are some great moments. I don't know if you guys had, obviously wanted to elaborate on that. Any moments that you had that you can remember throughout the years with, especially that Remy and Orsillo moment. The boob grab is unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
No, it really is. Everyone goes to the pizza right away, but the boob grab when Orsillo was trying to go through it, and he was trying to fight through it, and he was announcing it, and he was just like, and Nick Markakis was up, and he's just trying to announce like Nick Markakis, it's just, and they're just rolling laughing. Yeah, they are so funny. I think another thing about that relationship was when Orsillo left his last game against the Indians. If you go back and watch it, the Remy send off that he gave him, it was mostly about him being not only a great colleague but just great friends, and they were obviously great friends. And you could definitely tell that from Orsillo's tweet about how he's just completely lost about the loss of Remy. So I feel bad for Don, for sure. That's going to be tough. Best friend.
No, I mean, I think he worked with Don the longest and definitely through the best stretch of Red Sox history, too. And I think that makes a difference as well, especially, when you have that just genuine chemistry between guys. You see a lot of booths where, they're coworkers, they don't talk outside of, the game or anything like that. But even Don was saying in that tweet that you were mentioning, he still texted him 3 times a day to see how he's doing. Like that's family at that point. I mean, and especially Don still, working in the same career as well, and all the way across the country too. It makes it that much harder.
Oh, exactly. I mean, like you said, Jack. Just an amazing chemistry between the two of them. With Remy and Orsillo. It's gonna be a while before you get that type of bond between a play-by-play and a color guy. And I think Orsillo even mentioned having Remy there and his experience, playing the game and obviously being in the broadcast game as well. really helped Orsillo become the play-by-play guy and the baseball broadcaster that he is today. That experience that Remy had just was, worked. Did wonders for Orsillo in his career.
Yeah. The everyone goes back to that word, the chemistry. But if you go back and like actually watch those games and listen to those games, you felt like it was almost like scripted how good they were together. It's impossible to script something like that, right? So it almost feels like they were genuinely just so in tune with each other that I mean you won't ever see that in any sport really ever again. I mean that you could argue that is the most that's the best broadcast team in really the history of sports, a local broadcast team. I mean they not only funny but knowledgeable, exciting, just really amazing, you know.
Yeah, I feel like in Boston sports, I mean, the one thing I think the first one that just came to mind here, but chemistry with guys is Gorman and Heinsohn with the
Yeah.
Celtics. I think that's like the next best one that I can think of.
Yeah, you're right. They're very comparable. It's crazy too. Tommy Heinsohn and Jerry Remy all in one year. I mean, um, definitely very similar there.
I mean, I'm not too much of a basketball guy, but I've at least seen highlights of them before, and I mean, they're just you know synonymous with the team. Like you just can't really even think about them without thinking of like those guys, especially with Jerry Remy and the Sox. So it's gonna be weird not having them in the booth next year, and obviously they'll cover with whoever, but it's gonna feel like an empty chair.
Yeah, it will be. No, it will be. Yeah, Remy. I mean, they started. He made like Wally popular. Went with the Adirondack chair. He used to put Wally in the
Yeah.
Adirondack chair, and
Yeah. Mhm.
that was just like I mean, he's just a fun, caring guy, and he's not had it easy. I mean,
No.
dude in the booth like he never wavered. He just was happy go lucky every single night, knowledgeable, and he went through a lot of stuff. I mean, cancer, family issues, a lot of family issues, and he just always was same old fun loving guy.
Yeah, and I think it almost speaks to, I think part of the reason, he was so beloved in Boston was because he went through all that stuff and he just battled through and you really didn't, um, like you said, Matt, he never wavered. And that's kind of synonymous with people from this region, people in Boston, very blue collar, hardworking, and they battle through, they persevere.
Sure.
And I think that was exactly what Remy was as a human being. He was exactly that, and I think that's part of the reason why he was so beloved in this market.
Exactly. And I mean, he had to battle cancer so many times that, not to say it almost felt like he was going to beat it again, but you just expected him to, almost, just because he has before. He's that type of guy that is not going to quit on anything, do everything that he needed to. And from an outside point of view, you just almost expected him to be back next year. I know, according to a lot of people that were close to him, they could start to see some more of the signs, and it wasn't looking too good. And I know that definitely moment at Fenway for the wild card game,
Yeah.
really got to show people that this might be the last opportunity here, even if you might have not realized it at the time.
Yeah. I mean, that couldn't really have been a perfect, last moment of at Fenway for Jerry Remy is Red Sox Yankees wild card game, throwing out that first pitch. I mean, really, that's a tremendous, last moment at Fenway for Jerry Remy.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I mean, you can look at that. That's one of the most watched baseball games, right? Non-World Series game in history, the most watched ESPN game, baseball game in history. And, for Jerry to be on that national stage and throw out the first pitch, I mean, really, really fitting. But the Red Sox always nail stuff like that. They're really good at that. And they're going to do something very, very special for him. Multiple things, I mean, there's been a lot of things thrown around, but they should they should pull out all the stops, and he should be the most iconic. I would say the most iconic Red Sox personality of all time. You know, obviously you have Ortiz, you have Johnny Pesky, but Jerry Remy should be above all of them, in my opinion, in terms of when you think Red Sox, you should think Jerry Remy, and when you think Remy, you should think the Red Sox. So,
no, there'll be so many tributes. I'm sure opening day is going to be very emotional for a lot of people there. One other thing that I heard, there's a petition for right now to rename Jersey Street Jerry Remy Street, and I think maybe even if it's not Jersey Street or just one of the streets around there, to be dedicated to him. It's definitely almost nothing's even going to be fitting enough for how much that he's done, but there'll have to be some way to actually remember him forever at Fenway or around Fenway Park.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Jersey Street thing is a perfectly good idea. There's no a reason not to. I mean, Jersey Street's kind of like that was just the name before it was Yawkey Way because they had to get rid of the Yawkey Way name. So I mean, it doesn't really feel like when I think of Jersey Street, it doesn't feel like that's what it is. It still feels like Yawkey Way to me, obviously.
Right.
But I think it'd be perfect, and they should. I mean, retire number 2 would be interesting because Bogarts wears number 2. Probably might get retired someday for him. But I mean, he can still wear it.
No, that could easily be grandfathered in. I mean, I feel like that wouldn't be weird at all. And I mean, I don't feel like anybody's going to be wearing number 2 in Boston for a while, no matter what happens, because they still haven't even given out 21 or 49 or so many other different numbers that aren't even officially retired. So I don't feel like, that would really be an issue at all. And I don't see anybody wearing number 2 in Red Sox history again.
Yeah. You're right. Whether it's because of Remy, whether it's because of Bogarts, whether it's because of a combination of both, Bogarts will definitely be the last person to wear it for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't know if you guys, wanted to maybe, if there was a moment that sticks out from Jerry Remy or from those Ursillo times, if you wanted to share that or, because what I'm going to do is we are going to add a little tribute at the end of the podcast, that we'll add in there at the end with just some of the best sights and sounds from Remy's time at Fenway. So we'll definitely add that in at the end here.
Yeah, no, awesome. I mean, for me, the moment, I would say the thing that sticks out with Remy, besides his professionalism, his funny, demeanor, his lightheartedness, I would say it's honestly Wally in the chair. I think that's just from the organization as a whole was so uptight before Remy or Ursillo. It's like the boys club, right? The Red Sox was always like this uptight thing, and then Remy really kind of broke through with that, and it that sparked everything else that followed after that. The fun atmosphere, the Jared Carabases of the world, all these people, they have Jerry Remy to thank for that because the Red Sox were just a really uptight organization. So I would say Wally in the chair. I bought a Wally because of that when I was young. Still have it. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it was a little different for me because I didn't really start watching NESN until probably about 2007, 2008, when I finally was able to get MLB TV. For those of you who don't know, I grew up in the DC area, but I still followed the Sox. But, it was a lot of nationally televised games, ESPN playoffs such as. And so, actually getting to hear them, throughout some of my, years when you're really understanding baseball a bit more, you see a lot of the comedy side of things. I remember when his tooth just fell out randomly and Ursillo tried to put it back in. I know that one's been shared a lot, but watching that live is just so much different than watching, clip on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, because it was so unexpected any given night something like that could happen, and they would, make bad teams almost much watch because of it.
Yeah. The tooth. That's awesome.
The
I
tooth
totally
was
forgot about
unbelievable.
that.
I watched that video again, recently, and that is so awesome, and how that went down, and he's like, Orsilo's like got the pliers, and he's like opening Remy's mouth, putting the tooth back in.
It really is. It's just good TV. Like
Yeah.
they were just good TV. I don't care if you liked baseball or didn't like it. They were awesome.
God, they were so perfect together. It was
Yep.
unbelievable. But yeah, no, I know one thing I wanted to mention and that I thought was really cool is obviously we've talked about Remy, adding, just adding that spirit in the broadcast booth and in that positive energy. Garen Austin tweeted, I think it was a couple days ago, a video of Remy and O'Brien. This was recently, I think, from this past season. They were at Camden. And they had a Beatles song going on, and they were getting ready to go on the air, and Remy's just in the chair, just like dancing, playing the air guitar, just getting everybody loose, before the game. And I feel like that's just kind of that's just the guy he was. And that's the energy that he brought in the broadcast booth. And I think that video is like a perfect, like, summary of
he was very laid
and just who he is, just very laid back. And he just brought that energy to the ballpark, every day. And then when you think about it, he's just dedicated himself to this team and this Red Sox team. I mean, year after year, there's 162 games in the season, and obviously he wasn't there for everyone, but I mean, the amount of time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears that he put into this organization, I mean, he's a legend. He's a legend.
No, it really, it's a grind. It's not just a grind for the players. It's a grind for the fans. It's a grind for the broadcasters. 162 games is a shitload of games. It is a grind, and he made it fun. Like you said, Jack, tuning into the games, even when the team may have been not as good, or even if it was a blowout in the Red Sox favor. He always kept you wanting to watch. So.
And I know, LeBeau, you had tweeted a couple days ago too, that NESN should add the Buenos noches, amigos 100%. To the broadcast.
Every broadcast right before it, that voice, and just the recording.
Yeah.
Every single one until NESN either crumbles or the sun explodes, which is coming soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for that. I'm all for
Fingers crossed.
The asteroid can't come soon enough.
Yeah. I think one other thing I remember about him so much is, despite even being a bit older, he was very engaged with fans online. Like, he followed just about everybody on Twitter. He had his own huge Facebook group that, like, you would actually post and interact with fans in. So he cared. Like, nobody was making him go that extra mile in his free time. And he just wanted to do that. He wanted to be, close to the fans. And I think that's part of the reason why, like, he stuck around so long is because everybody, adored him, and there was no way that you couldn't.
Jack, did he not follow you?
No, he did. He does follow me. He does.
I was gonna say.
Him and Barack Obama.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have a lot of like random like people who are actually like verified and like really big people on Twitter, like
Tony the Tiger.
Are you serious?
So this is a story for another one. Just cut in real quick. It used to be Tony the Tiger, and he followed me for some reason. He only followed like a few hundred people, mostly celebrities, but they actually had to change it from Tony the Tiger to just like Kellogg's Frosted Flakes because so many furries were just like, I want that like tiger dick daddy.
Oh no.
Like if you Google this is like 6 or 7 years ago, but like, yeah, like they had to shut down the entire Twitter pages because it became just like a cesspool of furries. Which is I didn't think we were going to talk about this during the Jerry Remy episode.
I'm really glad we desecrated the Jerry Remy podcast with Tony the Tiger dick.
I think he would. I think Jerry Remy would enjoy that.
So does this mean that Barack Obama might be next? I don't mean to set off like some FBI alarm bells.
We're gonna get flagged.
Yeah. You know, we'll save that for the off season here.
No, but it was Jerry Remy, and then Jose Batista used to follow everyone back as well.
Yep.
So if you tweeted like one tweet about baseball, Jose Batista would just follow you if you followed him.
Yeah.
One day I blocked him.
You blocked him?
Yeah, because he followed me, and I was pissed because he was on the Blue Jays and doing well. Fuck him.
Jack, your
Twitter
game is unmatched.
No, it is very good. We thank you for your service.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank everybody we've had a lot of engagements here recently, so definitely want to thank everybody that's engaged on Twitter, likes, retweets, listen to the podcast. Definitely wanted to give a shout out to everybody for sure.
A lot of engagements. Instagram will be coming soon. More edits, more memes, things like that. But the Twitter's been really good. So
we're also hopefully gonna, just start actually doing more on other ones. I know we talked about, really trying to come up on MySpace. I think that's where the future's at. So we're adding more content too.
Yeah.
We'll add you to our top 8.
Yep.
We're still waiting for the LeBeau twerk on TikTok. But, Addison Ray.
AIMU away message. Off season. Hit the cell.
Follow us. Jeeves. Ask.com.
Yahoo Answers.
Yeah.
Google Plus.
Google Plus. LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Fuck LinkedIn. I hate LinkedIn. LinkedIn
I hate LinkedIn
poison.
Too.
It's the
I'm glad somebody said it.
It's the fucking worst. It's a bunch of people pretending to be people that they're not.
Yeah.
Like just shoving shit in your face. It's so annoying. It's the worst. Fuck LinkedIn. This is officially an anti-LinkedIn podcast.
Yep.
I don't think Jerry Remy had a LinkedIn. That's all that I'm gonna say.
That explains everything, man. That is That's all you need to know. Exactly.
That's all you need to know about that fake social media.
Oh shit. I don't know. Did you guys have any other thoughts on Remy or Silo that kind of sucks? Anything like that or?
Well, real quick, I will say, my girlfriend punked me into getting a hamster.
Wow. Yesterday.
I
did see that. Right.
Yes,
I saw that.
You sent the Snapchat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is right here. So he's hanging up. That's his cage. It's on the bookshelf right there. It's a big cage.
Very smart hamster. He reads.
Yeah, we did name him Remy. She thought it was after the Ratatouille rat.
Oh.
I never even seen the movie.
Good movie.
So it was after Jerry Remy. Yeah. So.
Wow, LeBeau may have just played the old 1-2 buckle my shoe on his girlfriend.
Yeah, I put her in a fucking locker.
Wow, mind is in a pretzel after that. You think it's Ratatouille, and then it's Jerry Remy just comes out of nowhere. Yeah,
you thought it was a rat that cooks. It was actually the Red Sox announcer.
And then, of course, I have Petey sleeping on the couch over here, being a good boy.
Hey.
Yep.
He's sick of listening to you, Jack.
I'm sick of me too.
By the way, for those of you watching on YouTube, unreal, chest, but there, yeah,
that is a good chest.
Wow, we have just gained a solid 5 subscribers. Whoa, YouTube's gonna flag this one.
Looking's free, touching's extra.
Oh shit!
It's the opposite if you're blind.
Yeah.
How you doing?
2 things I wanted to touch on Jerry Remy before we left. There was one time my mom is not a sports person at all, but I had the game on watching at home, and she just goes, "That man has the thickest Boston accent I've ever seen." And I feel like that was, perfect for, New England and Boston, just to have an actual Bostonian, not just a guy that played here, not just, somebody that may have gone to school here or even from somewhere else. He was a Red Sox fan since day one, and I think that was great.
Yeah. He had a knack for pronouncing his A, any words that end in A with the ER, like Daniel Navar.
Yeah.
That's a very popular, that's actually like a very like popular like Rhode Island, southeastern Massachusetts accent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Daniel
ER,
Navar,
yeah.
Soder,
Yeah.
and then the ER at the end would obviously be like he would still say like ka, yeah, he definitely
The ER is perfect though. The Daniel Navar, that's it.
Daniel Navar. Yeah. If you go back and listen, it never failed. He never said Nava once. He always said Daniel Navar. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
I only wish he was calling that first pitch grand slam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Phillies, right? Interleague play.
Yeah, Joe Blanton. I remember that game like almost too specifically. And then I remember he came up in his second at bat also with the bases loaded, and so I was like, is he gonna do it again? Like I swear, like I thought it was gonna happen. The other thing I wanted to touch upon is we all need to go to Jerry Remy's next year and have one for him.
Oh, show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've only been once, but it's a nice place.
Yeah. No, I've been once as well. That's the one where it's got like an upper level and the upper level's outside, right? Or is that Tony C's? I get them confused.
I get them. They have very similar lettering, so that's why I always get them confused too. But I believe so. I think I was only on that first level before though. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely got to go.
Oh, for sure. But yeah. If you guys have anything else on Jerry Remy at all?
Excellent mustache. Love the mustache.
Yep.
Grade A mustache for sure.
I don't think we ever saw him without it, right?
I don't think so. Not that I remember.
No, not that I can remember either. Even kinda, like the pictures in his playing career, he always had the mustache.
Yeah, that's when it was like at its prime.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Prime for sure. Prime mustache. And then we're gonna get it again here with Eckersley. He's got another one. He's got great lettuce, great mustache. Yeah. So the tradition continues with the stash.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. But yeah, if you guys don't have anything else, I think we can wrap it up here. We just wanted to do a quick one here on Remy. Obviously dedicate an episode to him specifically. Obviously he's a legend, so got to do that for him. But yeah, we'll be back with the next episode, touching upon, some of the off-season stuff, that starts coming up with, like Jack, like you mentioned before we started recording, just, players in, opting in, opting out of contracts, all that kind of good off-season stuff that, happens at this time, once obviously the World Series is over now. So we'll get straight into the off-season stuff going forward from here. And then, it'll be a good off-season here for us for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, definitely, recommend it to any friends you have. Leave reviews online. We'll be on iTunes soon. So I think that should definitely be one of our big ones where, if you can listen to it on there, we appreciate it. So that way, we can get a little bit more traction on there. The Spotify ones, we're actually pretty good at. If you search us, we're usually in the top 10 for Red Sox podcast now. So really, you guys are the reason why we're doing this out here. And we only hope that, you're enjoying it. And if you have any, comments, suggestions for us, let us know. We'll tell you to go fuck yourself because we're perfect. But no, we really do all appreciate it.
For sure. 100%. We look forward to many, many years. Hopefully one next year with a World Series. Red Sox plus 1,800 to win the World Series. So get your bets in. That's very good value right now. This is not a gambling podcast. This is not gambling advice. If you are struggling, and then call 1-800-GAMBLING. But no, seriously, good value there. So plus 1,800. Do it now before they sign a bunch of free agents and maybe make a couple of trades. So
yeah, sure. That is great. Plus 18. You're not a financial advisor by any means, but
no,
put money down.
This is
1-800-GAMBLER.
This is not a fiduciary, and if you are struggling, then please call 1-800-GAMBLING.
And I wonder what the odds are for Bronxy to return.
0. Yeah.
Because he's fucking dead.
It's the only way we can end the show.
I don't think he's Turtle Jesus, so he's gone.
There's no chance he resurrects.
Yep.
No. It's because they re-signed Aaron Boone. Maybe if not, but now it's just impossible.
Yep.
Oh shit! All right.
We need real quick. Sorry, we need Dave on the podcast. That way, we can ask him what the life expectancy as a turtle is. Because I actually had that as a question in my mind, but that would have been a perfect question for Dave, the Yankee fan, who would probably have a swift answer for us.
Yeah,
exactly.
You should call him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that should do it for this week here. We'll be back, next week, talking free agency and stuff like Matt Galveo suggested. But other than that, take care, fellas.
Peace.
See ya.